This is John and Steve from Midlands Metalheads, and we're on site at HRH Prog 7 in Betheli, North Wales. And today we're speaking with Mother Blackcap. How you doing, guys?
Oh, yeah, good.
Excellent, excellent. Have you played yet?
Yes.
We're totally out of gist with who's on and who's been on and who's
We
coming
can't
on.
even hear the stage.
Yeah, we're in our own little bubble here, you know what I mean? We don't know who the hell's, but it could have finished for us all we know.
We actually did 2 sets today. We did an acoustic at lunchtime for the Dark Circle.
Okay.
We got out alive. There were some strange people in black gowns,
But we did our normal.
That's what the couch makes a bit dubious.
Yeah. We did our normal set at 4 o'clock, and it was marvellous.
good crowd.
Couldn't have wished for
Yeah.
a nicer, friendlier bunch of people. Yeah, they didn't leave, so that was nice.
Oh,
It was a good sign.
There was more there at the end
Lock
of
the doors though.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Threat of
But,
death.
no, first time we've played here, and yeah, I loved every minute of it. Super. Yeah, we've been coming as punters for a couple of years, and last year we thought, wouldn't it be nice if we could resurrect the old band? Mark and I were in the original band.
Okay.
And these guys have joined us since last year. We've known Andy for a long time. David, never met him until about a week ago. Was it?
Found you wandering around.
In fact, they're still actually wondering who the hell I am. Well, funny enough, our original bass player David, he's with us this weekend. He didn't really want to get on board the second time round.
That first time.
But he's been fantastic. He really enjoyed it, but David and Andy have just fit in so well with what they're doing.
Well, I just went in the toilets, which I probably shouldn't, and got accosted by loads of blokes saying what a great set it was. And I'm thinking, I sort of said, I must come in men's toilets more often. I'm not sure if
That's a good idea.
You're on your own on this one.
So, have you actually heard yourself here?
That is something that I picked up from the website, that you trace the origins of the band back down to 2005. But then
in theory, it goes back to 1982 when I first.
We really are that old.
You don't look it.
No, thank you.
Myself and Bob have been playing
Give us a Wikipedia potted
Right,
history
okay.
of the band.
We first got together musically back in 82, 83, and we've been in dozens of bands, all failed in one way or the other, but we've all had a great time doing them. That's the wrong word, isn't it?
No, not failed at all. Just run their course.
Run their course,
Okay.
yeah.
But we played a lot in the Midlands. We were in a band years ago called Fond of Dogs, and we played quite a bit around the Midlands.
Whereabouts in the Midlands are you based?
Well, the station's based in Stafford.
Right.
Stafford.
We never quite made it to Stafford.
No, we did Wolverhampton.
Wolverhampton, Kidderminster,
And
and
DJs,
Derby.
Well, I live in Bewdley, which is not far from Kidderminster.
But yeah, so we played loads of gigs in various sort of incantations of sort of prog and rock over the years. And in 2005, we'd had a bit of a break for kids
Children
and children, as you do. But we thought, in true Blues Brothers style, let's get the band back together. And that was 2005, and we probably did a couple of hundred gigs as between.
You're on a mission
2005.
from God.
We were.
Yeah. And there was a penguin, wasn't there?
And we done 3 albums. We played loads of gigs. We had some great times. Did lots of good gigs. So that sort of ran its natural course. And then this time last year, as Bob was saying, we got the calling again and put it back together. And it's been great fun again. So it's nice to revisit the old tunes, and hopefully we can do some new ones.
It's been quite special being punters for a number of years and perhaps developing a love for the festival and then actually becoming part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you'll find as well is this kind of music is you play it down the local pub and most people walk out.
Yeah,
it's very, very niche, and and as
it might just be us to be fair.
Well, but the word prog, in some corners is a swear word, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we've got that a number of times today.
Well,
and also with the word concept. That's the other dirty word.
No elves were harmed in the making of the
exactly. Yeah. We don't have any dancing dwarfs on stage. We don't have any capes or anything like that. But no, we But we've always felt that these events are just perfect for the kind of thing we're trying to do. I mean, all of us play in other bands actually, just pub bands. Just basically keeping your chops in and Just gigging covers, which is why in a way it's been sort of quite easy for us to get back together again. As four, even though we've never played with Dave and Andy until recently, it was fairly easy. Yeah, I mean, Martin and I have written most of the songs over the years. A few were penned by this friend David as well. But hopefully, if we can move forward and do some new stuff, then obviously we'll work as a full piece. We don't.
Do you
want
think
to,
the current prog revival has sort of helped you guys, get it back together again?
I think there's definitely a more tolerance for playing, this type of music. Yeah, definitely.
It's not embarrassing. Kids are not embarrassed to say they like Pink Floyd, for example. Now, when I went to see Pink Floyd in 1980, and can you imagine back then, everybody thought Pink Floyd was like a dinosaur band. I think these guys were only about 30 at the time, and yet I was mocked for liking Pink Floyd. But now, our sort of children's
let alone Focus or Caravan or whatever.
But if you look at Johnny Rotten, I mean, although they debased prog big time, and they were
secretly admired.
He's like King Crimson, you know what I mean? So I mean, it's but a secret lemonade drinker.
But we did a sort of a warm-up gig in the summer at Galston Seafront. We come from Norfolk, you can tell by the accents, and they held a festival on the seafront with loads of bands, and we got on site, and even though it wasn't a prog audience in any shape or form, it still went down fine, and I think people are just appreciating music for what it is.
That's definitely true of the younger generation.
Yeah,
they don't even do albums. They literally hear a track like that. I'm having that. Or whatever.
They've really got nothing to anchor themselves to now, though, have
They've
they?
got short interest spans.
That's the big thing at the time.
I mean, my youngest daughter, if she ever got through a song, it was a miracle.
To be honest.
And her eldest lads are pretty much the same. If he comes around the house, can I play that? It's only halfway through a 3-minute track.
Yeah.
Skip to the next one.
There are no intros anymore,
so they don't listen to your radio show.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's future A&R people for you. That is.
So, I mean, what is next? I mean, you hinted at some recording.
Well, we don't know. Perhaps you got some ideas, because we've been so focused on getting our set together for this show, and we've almost sort of like got a bit of a blank. Anne, our manager over there, she's busy working all the contacts to secure us the world tour of Japan or something. But God knows where she's going to send us. But I think musically, it's definitely to do a new album. It's 5 years since we did the Energy album.
Well, a good friend of ours is a recording engineer, and he keeps pestering us to record again. So,
and he lives in Rome, so we quite fancy it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Some time
You
in
do
Rome.
realise that in a very short period of time, that Great Yarmouth is going to become the centre for prog.
Yes.
Yes.
Found that out today.
Yeah.
Yes.
HRH is moving there.
Yeah.
Is it HRH? It's the prog movement now, or is it?
Yeah.
I thought that's going to be in London next year.
Yeah, but speaking to Johnny last night, he said they've just signed a 5-year lease.
Oh, good.
And he says, I don't know whereabouts, you guys might
Yeah,
know.
no, we know it.
We know exactly. But we've been to events there. It's a bit like this. It's
a similar setup.
Yeah.
Who's that owned by?
I have no idea.
I don't
No,
know.
not the same.
Vauxhall Holiday Park.
So there's lots of them where we
just
live.
down the road.
It's a common thing.
I'll tell you who
who
used to be compere there. What was his name? Sandy. He was off the TV, Anglia TV. He was always on the TV.
What's Andy Law?
No, Sandy. So I can't remember his second name, but for years, when the Vauxhall Caravan Camp first set up, he was the go-to guy. He was like the compere, and he was on Anglia TV as well. But I can't remember his second name. Sandy something.
Let's see if we can get him back to do HRH Prog.
If it's there, then we'll be the house band,
Yeah, the biggest shame is because we love coming to North Wales because it's a long way for us to come. And it's like a mini holiday. We've dragged
about 6 toilet stops, I think.
But we've dragged about 10 of our friends with us as well, so even more than that, in fact. And it's been a nice little holiday for us. But if it's on our doorstep, it will be. We'll just pop down tonight for 5 hours. but no, it's great. I mean, obviously, if it does come our way, that'd be great.
Well, it is a great event. Everybody is so friendly.
Yeah.
It's, and it's all. I've just come out of the stage watching. There's some keyboard players, some retro synths, a flute player, and a drummer.
Oh,
playing Guru, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's an acquired taste, I think, is probably the tactful way of putting it. But I was seeing where they were coming from with it, and you get that, and then the next minute you got some sort of fairly hardcore prog metal band, giving it large with guitars up to 11, and so you do get a good variety of stuff. And
well, when I was putting the show together last week, I thought, Jesus, some different styles, but it's all under the banner of prog.
That's good.
And I think that's in itself, why it's so difficult to define it. I think because I think everybody's got their own personal opinions. And although you look back at the classic 70s bands, which were very prog, obviously, it's like I said earlier to another band, they were the ones defining it back in the day.
Yeah.
And now, and the trouble is that's the go-to place, isn't it? Really. Yeah.
But if you're not progressing that, then you're not progressive.
No, it's regressive. We start a new genre, reg.
Reg.
Call it reg.
Reg festival.
True reg.
So you've not got any plans for making a new album, but is it sort of?
It's our intention.
We'd like Andy and I, being the late newcomers, would love this to move forward.
Yes, we do.
The desire's there, the plan.
Yeah,
plan is there.
I need to get the lyrical content. I sound all artistic here, aren't I? But but yeah, it's the lyrics that are key. I need to try and find something to hang it off, and so I've got some ideas musically. But that'll come in the new year.
Do you think it'll go in a different direction to the earlier material?
Hopefully not.
Because obviously it's obviously older material now, and obviously things have changed. You guys have changed. You've got some new blood in the band.
I'd be surprised if it was went in the same direction. But at the end of the day,
you don't know until it comes out the other
just
end.
throws things in the mix.
I think
how's the competition? How's the competition evolved for the last time? Is it all getting a room, jam, see what works, riffs evolve, or is it a bit more?
Mostly, one or other of us would have an idea which we just thrash about. Martin tends to write more of most of the lyrics, to be fair, and I think Martin and I, a lot of the time, co-wrote the music. I mean, certainly there were some pieces maybe it was more Martin than me, and vice versa. But it is organic. I mean, obviously, you try and get. I mean, some of our songs don't stop evolving even after 10 years or more of writing them. And some of the songs that we actually have in the set, that we've played in Mother Black Cap, were actually songs that we might have written actually 20 years ago in the other band, and maybe we've just thought, well, let's see if we can do something different with them. So even now, one thing I think we have done over the years, we've realised that people get a bit tired of sort of 15-minute pieces and hearing the same repetitive loop, if you like. So we've tried to sort of cut the fat out of the songs a little bit to make them a little bit more audience friendly. Although ironically, we did finish tonight with an 18-minute epic.
Talking bollocks again.
Yeah, I must admit that.
What's that 18-minute epic?
It's called The English Way. Well, Martin wrote it, so maybe
it's quite interesting actually, because it's called The English Way. And it's all about being English, which is quite topical if you look at the political situation.
It was written years ago, wasn't it?
But I stand in defence of it being written 10 years ago, and it's really about trying to be positive about our country, not in any modern political sense of what's going on. It's more saying that people sag off this country all the time. People, I was thinking actually, it's not a bad place to live. There's a hell of a lot worse places. We get on. We can do what we like. We can have a good time.
Prog fests.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, and and it's actually not a bad country. Weather's a bit shit, but apologies for the language. I don't know if it's.
Don't worry about it. You go for it.
But yeah, so it's very much looking at all the aspects of being British. I think it's things like cups of tea come in there, pints of warm beer. In fact, to be honest with you, Andy probably knows the words better than I do because he has to sing the damn thing. So.
looked at
That in
the
itself is
perspective-
probably quite unusual to have somebody writing the lyrics.
You ain't heard my singing. Because I do a bit of backing vocals, and I got a little auto tune box which I have to sort of sneak in.
Oh yeah, all the secrets are coming out.
It sounds like Cher.
Just to try and get the backing vocals but vaguely in tune. Yeah, but yeah.
What was very gratifying on one of the other songs we did today called it's called "Don't Let the Bastards Grind You Down."
Okay.
I think the title is self-explanatory, but as
Very
we
poignant.
about an hour after we'd played, there was some guys came up to us singing our song to us, and I thought that's very satisfying to think that they've heard our song once and they're already singing
Wow.
the hook, and again that's
Rare for a prog track, I'll tell you.
Well, with the fact that you were singing that over and over again.
It is a bit of a sing-along,
in a bit.
but it's funny because again the lyrics are quite poignant. They are, but, all of us of a certain age, you know the things that wind you up, the things that
your bosses at work, your politicians,
your kids, your
wives,
wives.
It's all relevant. Everything's relevant. People can relate to it.
Yes, and you get a room full of people smiling as they sing because they know it's a little bit tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see, a couple of hundred people singing along.
I know it's one thing I try and do with lyrics is try and be positive, because I think it's very easy to write depressing lyrics. Anyone. I wrote loads of them when I was a teenager.
Angst.
Roger Waters being my hero at the time. Like my lyrics are full of teenage angst. But now I'm trying to think. Well, actually, let's try and be positive about lyrics. Yeah, people. When we do our cuts, we try and get a smile on the face. We try and inject a bit of humour into the thing, and just generally, enjoy it. We're not there to try and torture people about their, depression or whatever. We're not trying to, minimise the issues that are out there, but it's just people come out for a gig to have a good time, and we're just trying to. I like to try and be a bit more positive. I think there's a lot of
it's a
depressive.
comical tongue in cheek, isn't it?
Yeah.
People can identify with "Don't let the bastards grind you down."
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Everyone's going to think about that at some point.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah.
They're just harder to write nice lyrics.
Angry songs do tend to
Angry
work,
songs
yeah.
come easy, don't they? Look how many there are around, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with them. But
It's a bit like the news, isn't it? We all sort of home in on bad news.
Yeah.
We're obsessed by it in this country. Unfortunately, bad news stories get to the top of the headlines, and the good news stories are tucked away on the back page.
Remember Martin Lewis, the newsreader Martin Lewis?
Yeah.
He did a whole seminar on it, getting a balance within the news. And all his buddies were saying, so we got a report on Mrs. So-and-so's cat stuck up in a tree and things like that. And all he was trying to say was, there needs to be more balance.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same with music.
Well, there is actually a track on there called "A Silent 50 Million," which is written exactly about that. And there's for every one person that has a bad news story, there's 50 million people today woke up, had a perfectly nice, enjoyable day, and went to bed again. And it doesn't make news because it's not news.
That's
News is the exception, but that's.
I think somebody said once.
Curiosity.
It was about somebody's on about a car factory in the Midlands that closed down.
You're still having
And they were making a big thing, it was all over the paper how many people had been made redundant and so on. Front page. And yet, a year later, when it reopened, it was like a small story.
Yeah.
And what they were trying to say was that should be just as big a news as the fact
Yeah.
Well, that should be better news because there's a nice positive
Absolutely.
aspect to everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This company is getting
I
us back
wasn't
on
expecting
speed.
this to get into sort of social political.
Let's stop writing songs like that.
We need more upbeat songs. We do.
That's
We do.
So that's the reason you've got to get back in the studio.
It is. It definitely. Well, I enjoy it.
In fact,
You hate being in the
I
studio.
hate being. I have to say, I do
Yeah.
not like recording. It's.
Well, I've got to be honest, wearing a shirt like that, you've got to be positive.
Yeah.
I had someone say that was a nice shirt.
How can you be anything other than positive wearing a shirt like that?
My wife let me come with it, so that's all I can say.
You have to sneak it out.
No. She
This is
Take it,
This
please.
is actually good for Martin. He's known for his
Outrageous shirts.
tasting shirts. Yeah.
It's memorable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very memorable.
well, you got to put on a show, haven't you? You got to do something. And shirts is what it is. You ever seen the old one? Well, compared to Arthur Brown's set, I don't know if you saw that last night.
Yeah, oh god.
You know, it pales into insignificance because it was a brilliant
Well,
show.
you watch a show like his. I say his. I mean, let's face it, it's a group. It's
That's
an
right.
ensemble piece, but it just inspires you. You want to be like them. We've seen them a couple of times here, and there was a little piece he did last time where the keyboard player, Arthur Brown, picks up the keyboard player while the keyboard player is actually playing it. He picks up the keyboard, and this poor keyboard player's like trying to walk around the stage playing this while while Arthur Brown is sort of swinging this ball around, and it looked great, didn't it? And we tried to think, how can we do that?
I think there ain't enough of
You're
that.
going to be miffed when you start moving your keyboard.
There ain't enough of that. You know.
One
He's a showman,
It
isn't
was a
he?
show.
He always has been.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
he
can
puts on a good show.
I went to see Caligula's Horse in Birmingham, and they were supported by two other bands. And the first band, I Built the Sky, and the guitarist had a radio guitar, and he got off the stage and he was walking around the audience, coming up to people playing, and he went up the the balcony and everything.
There's a
you
lot
know where this is going, don't you, lads?
High-fiving everybody, how memorable is
We
that?
actually run our own festival in Yarmouth called Capstock after the band.
Okay.
And I must admit, it's become a bit of a tradition now. But at the end of our set, I do a Dave Gilmour-esque guitar solo, and it literally started like that, walking around. I think the last one I did, I was up on the top of a tall scaffold thing with fireworks firing out the end of my guitar.
Oh wow!
And then hoisted down on a, from the top of the marquee on a rope and landing on this trolley with, half-naked greased slaves pulling me around with our friends, some of our friends dressed as nuns, fawning me.
This can all be viewed on YouTube.
Capstock
2018.
The problem is each year I have to sort of do it one.
You've got to go better.
Yeah,
one more. And I said there was a zip line not far from here. We could have had you running on that.
I've got nowhere left to go now.
I think there will be a death shortly if we carry on doing this. I honestly thought
it's a
marquee down this year.
health and safety nightmare because it's not done properly, of course. But it's just bodged up. But,
we need things
but the
like
problem is
that.
he never tells the rest of the band.
Oh yeah, I never tell them what I'm doing.
Oh really?
So the first thing we see is
coming out with the
foxes on.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the band's like.
It is. It's
we're playing comfortably numb, and there's him with a lemon fireworks coming out the end of his guitar about 30 feet up in the air on a winch. I'm thinking this is going to end in disaster. The first Capstock death will be Martin. But there you go.
Where did the name come from?
Our original drummer, John Hughes, came up with the idea. It's from a film which you've probably heard of called With Nail and I.
Oh yeah.
And the Mother Black Cat was actually the pub that they drank in, and it was a real pub.
Okay.
But I don't believe it's there anymore in London. But
now you mentioned it, when I looked you guys up, it came up.
Yeah.
And
I think it's also an hallucinogenic mushroom.
Don't do drugs, kids.
We're not good with names. I'll be honest. It's sort of it's there. It's got a bit of legacy to it now. So,
but if you look at the bands playing at HRH Prog Fest, it looks quite normal.
Yeah. Well, like crippled Black Phoenix and all that.
Gandalf's hat, was it? No,
Gandalf's fist.
Yeah.
You totally fit in here, guys.
Well, the band
you've come home.
It does feel like
the band I want to see is Footprints in the Custard. I've no idea what they are. I just loved the name when I saw it. I played at one of the HRH.
They're usually just the punchline of some really childish joke, aren't they? How do you know when an elephant's been in your fridge? There are footprints in the custard.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's where the name comes from, but we'll have to ask them.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been absolutely brilliant for spending some time with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing with us.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
We will do. Yeah, we're all done now.
We look forward to the next album.
Oh,
well, I will wing a copy across if we ever achieve it.
Fantastic.
Let us know what you think of the.
Oh yes, I shall definitely be giving that a spin. And if you keep a track on your Facebook page,
please do.
I should certainly be playing.
No, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, I'll be featuring a post-mortem show, if you like, with including music and interviews from the weekend.